President Obama begins his first full week in office, and already he's facing his first big challenge, convincing Republicans to support his economic stimulus program. CBS News senior White House correspondent Bill Plante joins us with that. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Maggie. The president takes on auto fuel efficiency today, while Congress gets to work on his big economic stimulus package. Mr. Obama is hoping for support for the stimulus package from both sides of the aisle, but he's meeting some resistance. The president released details of what he called the American Recovery and Investment Plan in his weekly radio and internet address. The package is expected to cost at least $820 billion to create or save 3 to 4 million jobs and mandate that 75% of the money must be spent within 18 months. The spending will pay for tax cuts, infrastructure repair, renewable energy, and health care for the uninsured. Appearing on CBS's Face the Nation, Vice President Joe Biden said he expects the president's program will have strong bipartisan support.
There is a genuine effort here, and I think everyone in both parties is seized with the notion we must act quickly.
But Republicans are skeptical of the plan in its present form. They say much of the spending is wasteful and unnecessary, including $650 million for digital TV coupons, $200 million for the National Mall, including grass planting, and $200 million for contraceptive services.
I just think there's a lot of slow-moving government spending in this program that won't work. How is this going to fix an alien economy?
The president will keep on trying to convince Republicans, and in fact, tomorrow he's going up and appearing before the Senate Policy Luncheon. Very unusual. Meanwhile, today, Mr. Obama is set to reverse one of the Bush administration mandates and give the states a chance to have a bigger say in their auto fuel emission standards, something California badly wants. He's also going to propose new rules for fuel efficiency. Harry?
Bill Plante at the White House this morning. Thanks, as always. As a new week begins on Wall Street, investors are bracing for earnings reports from corporate giants such as McDonald's, Exxon, and Sony. Joining us from the New York Stock Exchange, Liz Claman, host of Countdown to the Closing Bell on Fox Business Network. Liz, good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
I want to talk about the economic stimulus program, and to steal a phrase from the David Letterman show, will it float?
I'm glad you used the word float, because the U.S. economy, Harry, looks absolutely like a gigantic barge or a cruise ship, although not much disco dancing going on there. There is so much concern about this, but you know how hard it is to turn around a big ship. You got to turn the steering wheel, and 13 miles down the way, you're saying, where's the turn? It takes so long, and time is of the essence. You just heard John Boehner and, of course, Vice President Joe Biden saying these things have to be immediate. They have to move quickly, and so that's how this has to slice and dice down.
Here's my question, because the Republicans came out over the weekend and have really started to be more vocal in their complaints about this. But do they really have anything to say? Do they have enough power to stop or really change anything in this package?
Well, sure, on the Senate level, certainly, where the votes need to come down more fairly, I think, in that regard. I think they want their voice heard. But Senator Chuck Schumer was just saying over the weekend, look, a third of this stimulus package is tax cuts, which traditionally is something that the Republicans really like. 2/3 are government spending. But the key here has to be, Harry, and Bill Plante just said, shovel-ready projects. These things have to be ready to go quickly, 18 months.
Right. One of the other questions, because it's not just the stimulus package, TARP money is going to be involved here in the weeks and the days to come. Does anybody really know what works?
Well, I'll tell you something. The first chunk of TARP we're finding now isn't exactly working how people wanted. In fact, Washington really wanted these banks to start lending again. Turns out 10 of the 13 banks that have received TARP, the big ones, have not started lending. In fact, they're lending less. So we're really watching that closely. But it's very important to keep on them to figure out what's going on. But this may very well be a point and shoot and figure out what hits the target. Right now, though, we know that big infrastructure projects, and these are studies done by actually Republican economists like Mark Zandi of economy.com over at Moody's, saying, look, it's the infrastructure projects that actually end up putting more money into the system than perhaps a tax cut. Because, Harry, if you give somebody or a corporation a tax cut, there's no guarantee they'll then spend it. A lot of these people are in hibernation mode.
Start pouring the concrete. Liz Claman, thank you so much. Do appreciate it.